Hello, everybody. We're here with Mortgage Protection Mastery, and real quick video to teach you how to come out with larger premiums and even sell annuities on a weekly basis. I said weekly because it's very, 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 very possible that you can do this once you know these particular strategies to doing so. So what I'll do is I'll get started here with your mortgage protection and any business that you are in. Really, I mean, you need marketing. Whether it's a construction company, whatever the company may be, you need marketing. So what I'm getting at is you gotta, guys, to make this work, you gotta have your lead flow weekly. You gotta have your lead flow weekly. We're having a surgery coming up in our family, and I'm going to continue my lead flow even though I won't be working in the business for the 1 to 2 weeks that I may be out of business. But I'm not going to stop my lead flow coming on. That'd be like taking my billboard down off the side of the road, or taking my sign from my storefront away and not participating in my marketing that week because I'm not in the shop. You just don't do it. So you got to keep your lead flow coming in. On a weekly basis, if you can just get a minimum of 20, it's a minimum. But if you get on the higher end of 30 to 40 a week, you will do $20,000 a week with these strategies. That's the bottom number from this point on, from the 30 on, even the 20. I mean, you have good weeks with 20 leads coming in to do $20,000. On the plus side, you can do this number weekly. You could do it by Wednesday if you hit the right home. So you can do both of these sets of numbers by Wednesday, $100,000, $20,000 by Wednesday. But if you do it by Saturday, even if you had a 6-day work week, that's more than most people make in a year. So what the hell do you care? You still did it, right? So what I'm going to get at is some strategies that I use to hit these larger numbers. So I'm always at 20, but my goal's 100 a week. So if I come up short, no big deal. I mean, I'm not dying for it, but it's beautiful when it happens. How do I get there? Well, the simplicity of that is one, like I said, through the lead flow. Number two is through the strategies in the house. So when I'm in Mrs. Jones' home, I'm making sure that she understands her numbers, his and her numbers. So I got Mr. and Mrs. Jones here. Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones. I always know their ages and I know their names. So at the end of the day, the strategy to get to the annuities is pulling money out of people. So you got to get the money out of people, which is what they have coming in compared to what they have going out. And once you have mastered that, you'll get the retirement funds on the table. What are they using to live their last 30 to 40 years on Earth? How are they going to make it? Now, this is for retirees, people 65 and older. So when I use a strategy, it's to understand where they will be and will they run out of money. So to teach them whether they're even going to make it or not is the goal. So what do I do to do that? Is all I do is I get them to get comfortable with me. So I'm building rapport to the point of trust, of course. But the very first step is understanding their Social Security income. And it's not asking them. It's how I asked. It's saying that, Mr. Jones, let me write this out real neat so you really understand this. This is a sheet of paper, by the way. This is exactly how it looks inside the house. Mrs. Jones. Mr. Jones, you're 65. Mrs. Jones, you're 65. Just for illustration reasons, I'm here for mortgage protection. I'm going to give you both, so you both understand your options when a significant other passes away, how we can pay this home off. I have strategies to pay this home off in 10 years. I have strategies that will pay this home off due to death at age 90. So how much is left on the mortgage? It should be on your sheet, but ask them anyway to confirm that they know. So if there's let's say there's $200,000 left on the mortgage, I want to know what the monthly is. How much is your monthly mortgage payment, Mrs. Jones? It's $1,000 a month. So I know in my brain that if he goes, that Mrs. Jones at least has to come up with that a month. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, out of the two of you, who has the two of the higher Social Securities? The reason I'm asking is because that's what's Mrs. Jones going to be left with, Mr. Jones. So does Mrs. Jones receive from your Social Security? What will she receive from your Social Security? I didn't ask him how much he has. I said, what will she receive from your Social Security? And we'll have in his Social Security bucket, let's say it's $2,000 a month. Mrs. Jones, during the 6 to 12 month period, in this era of time, it takes 6 to 12 months for you to receive this. How much will you have to live on just on Social Security? Okay, I got well, let's say she has $1,000. Well, right there, I know that she can't survive because her mortgage is $1,000. So what she needs to do is get through this 6 to 12 months of void time. So she's used to having $3,000 a month come in. Now she's down to $1,000. So we can talk to her about buying time, but I'm going to teach them how to pay the house off quick. That's what this is about. So I want to get the house paid off in 10 years for these people. Now, Mr. Jones, in the event of your passing, will Mrs. Jones receive anything else? Is she going to receive like a 401k? Sometimes they don't know what you're talking about, so you have to spit it out. Will she receive a 401k, IRA, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, whatever it may be? Just some type of retirement schedule. Will she receive that? Yes. He says yes usually. He didn't tell you how much. Sometimes they say, oh yeah, I got $250,000 in a 401k she's going to get. She's okay. Okay, that's great. We got $250,000. No, actually, let me do this. Most people don't have that much money. If they got this style of Social Security income, it's more like $100,000. So there's a 401k with $100,000 in it. So one of the strategies that I'm going to show Mr. and Mrs. Jones is how to get this house paid off in about 10 years. Due to the fact that they're paying the mortgage, that might be more like 15 years. By the time they get this number halfway down, we can get this number halfway up. What do I know? I know they're going to get a 13% bonus. They're going to start at $113,000 here. And it's going to grow to about $230,000 by the time the 10-year period goes by. So there's the money there to pay the house off, the back end of the house. When this number comes down due to monthly mortgage payments, this may take 10 to 15 years. It may take 10 years, but do the math for them. And you can do that by taking the $1,000. If I take $1,000 and I want to see what equity is inside the home, this is important to show these people because of a timeline bar. And I times that by 12, that's $12,000 a year. Now, if I multiply that by that 10 years that they're waiting to build equity, that's $120,000. Now you have to divide that one by 2. Divide that by 2, and that equals $60,000 in 10 years. So we're close. We're almost there. So we're actually very close. We need about 10,000. But on the 12th year, they could pay this house off easily using the indexed annuity strategy, and they'd be out of the surrender period. So after 10 years, they'd be out of the surrender period, and all the money they can take out, or they can take out half the money and pay this mortgage off in 10 years. The other strategy that you need to be saving your clients money on is teaching them how to split their monthly mortgage payments. If you're not teaching your clients how to do that, you're not helping them get their mortgage done in 15 years just doing that. So what that does is that saves them all this mortgage payment money. Okay, so if you don't know about this strategy, you need to learn about it. Teach your clients to split their monthly mortgage payments. Have them literally contact their mortgage company and get their monthly mortgage payments split, and it'll decrease it by 15 years, usually by half. Sometimes it's 20 years, but that decreased it by 10 years of payments, which is a savings of like $60,000 in the long run that they can put towards their retirement and funding their future. So, which is kind of cool because they're spending the same amount of money, but they're just getting the payments done in quicker. That's awesome. You know what I mean? So you have $60,000 in equity with the good inflation on the house. Let's say it's 80 to 100 grand. Other strategy that you can use. Mr. Jones dies. She doesn't have enough money to stay there. You always want to sell a policy, last resort, to buy her time. Sell her $25,000 policy to buy her time. This strategy pays off the house. This will work. And this is how I sell so many annuities, guys. This is why I sell 5 annuities a week and more sometimes, but minimum 1 a week. I run into this once a week at least. It's not how many times I run into an annuity illustration, because I run into 5 to 10 a week because I show this weekly, and I show it 10 to 20 times. But you can definitely use this in the house and get people's houses paid off. So repeat on this. You got Mr. and Mrs. Jones at age 65. You got a $200,000 mortgage that they owe, okay? You got $1,000 a month going towards that mortgage for a 30-year period. I got Social Security income. I know it's a total of $3,000 between the two of them. I got out the facts that Mr. Jones has a 401k valued at about 100 grand. I know what I know. It's going to be a 13% bonus. It's going to get them $113,000 to start. And I know in a 10-year period, that number will be about $230,000 or so, 225, 230 grand. Then from there, I know that I can get that house paid off in 10 to 15 years. All the surrender charges are gone. They don't have to worry about taking the money. It's all theirs. Sure, they got some taxes to pay, but in the end, if they get to the 15th year period with taxes even, they'll be able to pay this house off in half the time. Strategy number 2, or you can fill it in with this strategy just in case, is you get their payments split monthly. 1, 2 payments. Here's payment 1, here's payment 2 in the same month. And that will decrease the amount of time that they pay on their mortgage. So have your clients contact their mortgage company and split their monthly payments. Now, on top of this, if they get this strategy done, that's good, because this is all retirement money now. It's not going towards this because they are going to need that for income. $100,000 401k and drawing off of it one day. I mean, that's $10,000 a year for 10 years. You know what I mean? Doing it our way makes more sense. We can turn on an income maybe immediately to $500 a month to $1,000 a month at this stage in the game. After 10 years, they're 75 years of age, living till 95 years of age. So it makes more sense to do that. And I hope you got that. If you don't, ask questions at the bottom and I can answer, or in the comments section, I should say. For younger people, it's a little different because they don't have a 401k, right? So it's a little different for them. But what I've done twice this week was shown proof of a 401k at their retirement online. There's a link that I have that shows what a 401k will look like with their distributions at their retirement age. I got two sets of people to use an index universal life strategy with tax-free retirement. Tax-free retirement, you can draw on the money tax-free. Instead of the 401k system, they're now funding this. I got one at 300, one at 200, one at 150, and I forget where the other one is. I think it's higher than all 3 of those too, so I don't remember what the number is. But I got 4 people to do this week instead of their 401k funded. So we're going to get them approved first. Then we're going to have them go into their HR department and dump the 401k. 401k at a company is an option. Doesn't mean they have to do it. It's an optional. So getting people transferred into this using the F&G product or the Index Universal Life at very high interest rates will prove to outperform this even in the past. So how do we know it's going to work? Because of the past. We look back in history. How do you think they're doing? They're looking at the 401k, they're looking into history to know how to fund this properly. So that's what we do with the Index Universal Life, and you can make a ton of sales. How many people do you know that are clients that have a 401k that they're funding? So all you need to do is contact me to get the link that shows you how to fund the 401k, or just Google the link and we'll show you how to operate it, because it's important you know how to work the 401k link to get the numbers that show 9 times out of 10, I've seen people that were going to receive, let's say one guy was going to receive, let's say he's going to get $1,000 a month for like 15 years. Well, instead he'll get $1,500. Well, I should put it over here. He'll get $1,500 a month over here. This is not taxed yet, too. This is tax-free. He'll get $1,500 a month until age 90. Which one would you choose? He'll pull out $2.2 million, and this guy will pull out $1,000 a month for 15 years, whatever the math does on that. So that's a huge difference, and people just don't know and understand this, and you may not understand this, and you can help a lot of people protect their futures by doing this strategy. So it has big numbers in it, so you're going to make a lot of money doing it, and it's a very simple strategy to do it, you know, and it's just how you're using your language to make this proof, and showing them proof by the link that we show you how to use, showing the 401k at one day in their life, wherever their retirement schedule is, 65, 70, whatever that may be, and showing this one over here compared to the two. And you'll sell a ton of index universal life policies that come with a death benefit, very high too, by the way. The very first thing you have to understand is this isn't a death benefit. Most of these starting funding, there's like $5,000 in here. Some guy has $20,000 in here. This one has immediate services to the client, meaning it has like $900,000 in death benefit, living benefits too. So if God forbid he can't work anymore, that 401k is not going to help. This will. Cancer, stroke, heart attack, can't do 2 of 6 daily activities a day, like walking, talking, bathing, dressing, things like that. This product will help your clients in life, unlike their 401k. So get this information to people. And this would be used for a literally younger crowd, but index universal life can be used for older crowds, but 9 times out of 10, when you're doing it like this, use it for a younger crowd. So that's another strategy that I use to get big money out of people. Now, when most of you are just trying to find the cheapest rate for people, you're in there trying to find the cheapest premium possible to make a sale. And me, I'm trying to find what works. What's the best option for them? What can I do with the money they're already using, and make them understand that they need to fund this at 100 minimum. That's my minimum number. You know what I mean? 300 is probably my mid number. 6 to 1,000 is my top number weekly per sale. You know what I mean? That's my minimum. I won't go even below that. $300, $600 to $1,000. So I've already told my brain that I don't even want to play with people that want to go below 100. Now, ask Jason, are you not going to sell a policy that's below $100 premium? Of course I will. But I'm trying to tell you most of the way that I strategize this to explain products, and the biggest word that you may be missing in your sales, because you haven't taught yourself the products yet, blaming it on our upline when it's your business that you need to work on. Value. I bring value to the table. Okay? So if you're dealing with an upline that doesn't know this stuff, probably doesn't know this, you need to either A, find a new place to go, work from, or B, do it on your own. Study the hell out of them. The carriers offer educational materials. YouTube has educational materials. I give you educational materials, and so does my company. So if you want trained on a daily basis, slide on over, guys. We'll get you trained up. Anybody have any questions or any scenarios that you're running into while you're out in the field? Let me check this thing here on the comment section. Hello, Andrew. Let's see here. What's F&G? Robert, F&G. Jose, what's up, bro? F&G is Fidelity and Guarantee. That's a company that we offer that you can get the Index Universal Life with. Or, you know, whatever Index Universal Life you're working with, you can utilize that Index Universal Life. There's plenty out there. But why we choose this? Because performance-wise, it is proven to outperform in the cash value section every time. So at this stage and in this era of time, that's what we're using to do this. Now, coming with living benefits and everything, it makes sense. I don't think anybody's going to outperform LSW on the living benefits, but if it's usually about their money, right? Sometimes I do sell products based upon cash value, and I mean based upon living benefits. And let me make sure I got enough juice. So I do that a lot. I will teach older clients of mine or older prospects of mine how to use living benefits to their benefit. Finding out, hey, do you have cancer in your family tree? Yeah, my brother had it, my mother had it, my grandfather had it. Well, here's a product, if God forbid you get cancer, that this thing's going to pay you out while you're living. I have learned to use value from the products to sell on many different arenas in the homes. I find out what the situation is, and I find out if I need to do it for living benefits, cash value, death. Living benefits, cash value, retirement, death. You understand? And if you're doing it like that, you'll make a ton of money in this business. A ton of money. And you'll actually, I think what people didn't tell you when you got into this industry is that we are in an educational business. And if you outlearn people and help your clients understand your products, you're going to lead to big money. You're going to make money. You understand? But you got to get educated. You cannot continue just to go into the field, work old leads, wish upon a star, pray for $500 to $600 a sale, and hope for it to happen week in and week out. You've got to get the education on the products. Look, all of you are into this sales portion of education, but I bet you a lot of you are not taking advantage of the education due to the product part of it, and that's where you have to merge them all together. Product knowledge, sales education, in-home process. You know what I mean? Takes time, but you can get it down. I got reps that get it down very quickly. Reps spend a week with me, 3 days to 5 days a week, and they fly in from other states, all the way from across the other side of the country, to spend 3 to 5 days with me. Then when they get this part of the puzzle, they've already seen it in the house. They understand what the hell I'm talking about. If you don't see it in the house, you may never get this. So it is important to get that part of the puzzle down. So anybody that ever wants to spend time with me, even if you're with another organization, I've done it that way too. You can fly in with me, spend some time with me, and I'm just out to help a lot of people. That's all this is. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you my education and what I do in the home to give it to you so you can do it the same damn thing. So we have premium options. Like I said, a lot of you are choosing the less premium to make the sale. You're worried about if I pitch a big number that they're going to say no. I'm the opposite. I know that the big number is the actual number that they need. I'm not worried about whether they can afford it or not. I know they can. You should know they can. Why? Because you went over the things with them. You know what the monthly mortgage is. Even in final expense, if you're a final expense rep looking to get into mortgage protection, a good way to practice mortgage protection is by taking a final expense lead and turning it into a mortgage protection sale. So you take a final expense lead and you turn it into a mortgage protection sale. How? Well, one, you teach them how to protect the home. Protect the home. Protect the loved ones from the mortgage that's going to be left on the home. Number two, you teach them about retirement. Their retirement. Always talk about what they have in place now and what they'll need. Tell them as the professional, you know what's going on. You get secrets that they don't hear, and you're concerned. Be concerned. So we have a final expense lead, turn it into a mortgage protection lead by discussing the options. How's somebody going to, Mr. Jones, I know you guys have a mortgage too, and I understand I'm here to take care of the funeral, but I want to show you another option to take care of the funeral and the house. So we don't want Mrs. Jones losing the equity because let me do some math here with you guys, if I may. I'm going to show you guys something here. Mrs. Jones, you have a $1,000 a month mortgage. Now, Mr. Jones, at your demise, what will you leave Mrs. Jones in Social Security income? She's going to receive your Social Security. You're the two of the higher, right? So, yes, she'll get $2,000 a month. Mrs. Jones, you know, you have to wait 6 to 12 months for that in a worst-case scenario, okay? So what are we going to do for you? We need to make sure that while you're waiting that you can afford this mortgage payment of $1,000 plus all the bills that are currently being paid. You have food, water, sewage, maybe kids, grandkids, college funds, I don't know, electric bills, the whole 9 yards goes on and on and on. So she has, so Mrs. Jones, what are you going to be living on during this 6 to 12 month period just on Social Security? All I want you to tell them is just on Social Security for now. Some people may pop in the fact they have a retirement fund, they got pensions, things like that. Just talk about Social Security for now. It all leads somewhere. So in Social Security, Mrs. Jones has $1,000. Well, you know automatically these two don't make sense because $1,000 of income makes only the mortgage payment. She can't survive. She's gonna be out on the streets. So what we want to do is, this is a final expense lead. I want to take care of your funeral or cremation, but I also want to make sure that your home and equity in them. Talk about the equity. That means money. And is it at loss? That means that during the time that Mr. Jones passes away and you're dealing with this and not getting his income, that you have time to sell the home or pay off the back end of the house on the 25th year of his passing, or the 20 year from now that he passes. You'll have enough to pay off the back end of the house. You won't need to worry about that. You have $1,000 to eat, live on, take care of yourself. So what do? Give him a $25,000 policy here. Or you find out, Mr. Jones, what else does Mrs. Jones receive? Mrs. Jones will receive a $100,000 401k. Mrs. Jones, do you have a 401k or any pensions? No, I do not. Okay, so you're going to receive this. You're the beneficiary of that. I'm going to show you how to get this house paid off in half the time too, guys. And the other thing I want to teach you is how to get your mortgage down to 15 years. So what I want you to do is I want you to contact your company, your mortgage company, and I want you to tell them you want to split your monthly mortgage payments. When they do that, they get down to 15, 20 years by doing so, okay? So the other thing is that we want to take care of the funeral, we want to take care of the house, we want to take care of the sale of the home or the paying off of the house. So I'm going to show you how to pay this house off in a 10 or 15 year period anyway, all right? But I'd rather show you how to retire without debt, okay? You guys are a little older, you're getting into a house late, so let's show you how to live debt-free in about 10 years. So then you do an Athene illustration. So you're telling me this $100,000 is going to get them $13,000 in bonus. And in 10 years, your illustration will show they'll be at about $230K, and they'll have enough to pay off the house in 10 or 15 years, along with splitting the payments will do that also. And there won't be any surrender charges on the annuity. They'll be able to walk away after a 10-year period. Usually, sometimes it's 15 years due to the fact of their age and the bonus that they give. They give a big bonus, surrender charge might be longer. So what? They pay the house off in 15 years. It's better than 30. It's another 15 years they don't have. One, the kids will inherit the house. Boom. No threat from the bank. The kids don't have to worry about their inheritance. The kids receive a $200,000 or $300,000 house with good inflation on that home, plus the annuity, if it's still in place, they receive $100,000 or $200,000 there. So you're literally probably going to be able to leave your children at least $500,000 one day if you don't chew through all this money. If you don't, it's your money. Go ahead, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. But what I'm trying to do is show you how to get this house paid off in 15 years. And we just showed proof of that. How do you do it? You have to get the illustrations in front of them. The key to this speech to them, this pitch, is to get the illustration in front of them. How do we do that? You tell them, I need to do this. I'm going to show you I'm going to show you your options. I'm going to show you how to get this place paid off in 15 years. That is mortgage protection. That's what we're doing here. So I'm going to show you your options. I want to lay both side by side so you can make the wisest decision for now and your future. So give me a moment so I can do so. You contact your carrier, you get the illustration sent to you. You need a $100,000 illustration and know your products, okay? Who would you call? Well, I would call Athene for the annuity. Tell me what the largest bonus, what the highest interest rates on the cash, and leave it at that. That's a simple way to get it done if you don't know what you're doing yet. But I advise you to start studying the products that they offer. So what you're going to do is then get them into a position to show them that annuity, which provides them 15 years of then they can pay off the house. Second option is to show them how to buy time when Mrs. Jones doesn't have enough money, and she can sell the home for the equity. So I always like to show people what the equity looks like at that time. And I'm going to do it again for you. And I hope this time you write the equation down. This is a powerful equation that I use in the house on a lot of sales, okay? So the monthly mortgage payment was $1,000, right? So we're going to show Mrs. Jones what her house looks like in a 10 or 15-year period. We multiply that by 12 months of payments equals $12,000 a year that they're paying for this house. Multiplied how many years of equity? Times 10 years equals $120,000 of the investment. Divided by 2 equals 60K. 60,000 plus good inflation, roughly 90,000, 80,000 bucks the house is worth at this time. Why do you want to protect that, Mrs. Jones? Because here's you. Here's the bank. The bank is coming after this money, okay? They get paid to secure that into their pocket. Then they're going to resell it for the $200,000 again. Okay, you see, understand why it's so important? You have a 6 to 12 month period where you're going to be living on $1,000 and you can't afford to make the payments, so that equity is lost. Your kids, too, same position. If they don't have the money to come up with the monthly mortgage payments to get this house sold, you will not receive this. The bank will snatch every dime of yours. There goes your inheritance to your kids. There goes your 90 grand of inheritance, too, for your future, Mrs. Jones. And there goes the whole situation. You walk away with $2,000 a month after a 7-year, 80-year period on this earth. That's not what we want to do for people. All right? Get it? Got it? Good. All right, let me check if there's any questions. Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Any questions? When you say split the mortgage payments, what do you mean by that? Where do I go to study things? Robert, when I say split the monthly mortgage payment, I mean this. They have to contact their mortgage company, all right? So what they're going to do is they're going to cut the payments in half. They're going to have 2 payments, splitting it. Here's 2 weeks, here's 2 weeks, okay? Every 2 weeks, they're going to make a monthly mortgage payment instead of making 1 from this point on. That gets the mortgage down 15 to 20 years. I know you won't understand why. For now, you have to trust me why. I don't want to do a section on this because I got to go. But that's important for your clients to understand. Their mortgage will be cut in half in time due to cutting the mortgage payments in half. Now, for you, Lawrence, are you on my team, Lawrence? If you're on my team, you get the education through me or us, or you can go to Athene themselves once you're appointed with them. So, Lawrence, I believe you're with me, right? You with me? So if you're with me, you get appointed with Athene, or whoever you may be with, you get appointed with Athene, and you go from there. I can't remember everybody, Lawrence, so forgive me if you are a part of me. But if you are, go to the Assurance Bay, you get contracted with Athene, you can have the product knowledge through them, and the product knowledge through us too, which is an annuity training that we do every Wednesday, all right? So any more questions? Anybody got any questions? Okay, Lawrence, get that done because this is big. And let me tell you how this would work out. Let me show you the pay on this. Here's what you would walk away with one sale due to that structure of sale. So you're roughly talking about, you get the annuity part done at your schedule. You're in probably about $5,000 to $7,000 you would be paid on that particular annuity situation, okay? Now, if you sold the life insurance part of it, the mortgage protection, just to buy time at $25,000 at their age, it's probably $100 to $200, probably closer to $100. So, you got $1,000 there you're paid. So, here's the situation: is you can sell both. Get this in place and get this in place. Now that they see that they're earning money, a lot of people don't feel the threat of investing into mortgage protection or a final expense life insurance. Remember, this was a final expense lead, guys, that we turned into mortgage protection. We got an annuity out of the individual, and we showed them how to pay their mortgage off in half the time. Or if they don't pay the mortgage off due to their annuity, they paid their home off due to the fact that they split their monthly payments. Their mortgage payments split in 2. Or they pay their home off in 15 years, doubling their annuity size in 10 years. They take $100 grand, you add a bonus on of 13%, they get $113,000 to start with in 10 years. By proof, how do we know this? Because of the history. We go back in time, just like their 401k. The index annuity that we offer is better than their 401k. Without a doubt, if you never earned again or just earned slight numbers, it would be better than them losing money and then trying to gain it again in a 401k situation. So you got a 10-year period here where it's $230,000 now. or so. They take that half, they pay the mortgage off, or they pay the mortgage off doing theirs. Here's the better strategy of the two. They split their monthly mortgage payments, and they get this mortgage down. They cut that in half. Now they have 15 years of $1,000 in their pocket you've done for them, okay? You did that. You saved them that money. Times 12, times 15 years of payments, you saved them that money, which is like $100,000 you saved them doing this. Now, number two is you built them a nest egg. So not only are they going to have another extra 100 grand, $1,000 a month coming in, they got an extra $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month coming in from this. So now somebody's able to, instead of living on $3,000 a month, they're at $6,000 a month. And why is that important? Because of inflation, because of tax increases. That's how you help people, and that's how you get big numbers. Because you actually became a professional in this scenario. You paid $7 or $15 for a lead, people are going to be blown away by you. You know what I mean? The education that you're delivering is more than they ever could ask for. It's free, and it sounds good. So they think, holy shit, this guy's got to be the professional. He knows his shit. I do this, every day of the week. And as my boy says, twice on Sunday. Laugh out loud, huh? So, what else do we have? What else can I answer for you all here? What else do we have? What do we got? Give me some questions. Younger people. You guys have demographics where you deal with younger people. A lot of you cats out there selling these term products, doing justice by these individuals for a short period of time. I got you ROP, which equals the rep making a lot of money. Long story short, most people get 20K to 40K back in most situations to cover a $200,000 or $300,000 mortgage, being young. And what you could have done is slice this down the middle. You could have did an index universal life. You, as the rep, take a hit. You know what I mean? But you're doing something else here, which is building them, young people, a dynasty for the future. Side by side in 30 years, this will be 80 to 120,000. You know what I mean? Compared to just 40. This will be 50 to 80K compared to 20 at the end of the term ROP. So know your situations and know your products. I want you guys to get paid. There's nothing wrong with selling ROP term. The only thing that pops into my mind is the people I'm dealing with now. If I got you all who are in demographics of youthful people to see what it's like to deal with older people that are higher age, lower income, and have to deal with the fact they have to pay $200-300 a month out of their wallet for something that somebody did back in the day. The fact is that most people are going to outlive this anyway, and that's why term is cheap, because they know the statistics are low. So, for me, it's a mental thing. I feel bad for the older people. I think if you took a ride with me, you see how older people live, and you feel the same. And you get people early in the game of putting them into a financial situation what is better for them later. Not having them search for life insurance at age 65, 70, and 80. You know what I mean? So anybody got any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right. So let's take this age down real quickly. I'll show you what it looks like. Let's take a 40-year-old. We want to get them, their mortgage is $200,000. They are paying $1,000 a month. They have no 401k. They are investing into a 401k. But as I told you, I don't have my phone, or I'd show you the site that we could use. But anyway, you got the 401k, and you put this side by side with the index universal life. The 401k is lower. It runs out in 15 or 20 years, unless the market's high. Due to market volatility, most people will be working after 10 years of retirement. So after they've retired for a 10-year period, they usually end up back at work after the 10th year, especially our era of individuals. Now, if they do it my way or the right way, they take their funding of $300 a month and they put it towards the index universal life. Not only will this payment go till age 90 or 100, not just 15 or 20 years, but it will be larger and tax-free. So let's say this is $2,000 a month and this is $1,000 a month. This one runs out, it's less, it's not tax-free. This one's tax-free and goes longer. Allows somebody to pull $2 million, $3 million out in their lifespan throughout their retirement. And that makes more sense, my friends. That is better than any 401k on earth, and that's what people should be doing. I mean, it's just right. It's the right thing to do. I mean, why are people doing it? They don't know. When you get a job, you get, oh, I got a 401k, great, my future's okay. What happens if Social Security's not there? Boom, you're at it again. You're done. You're dead. You're working for life, doom, you're slave to the grind. And they can only hope it probably in the government. So number two is that you have a low income due to a 401k anyway. What are most of you in funding into a 401k that they're even matching? You walk away with $200,000. Let's go top end. Let's say somebody retires with $400,000 and the market dives and they lose half of it and then they come down to $200,000. Do you not think that participating in market crashes is going to deplete you and your withdrawals and the broker fees of 3% annually? On how about this? On $500,000, a 401k broker will earn $200,000. It could be, how about, I'll even do it better. I'll do $1 million. On $1 million, a broker can earn $200,000 to $300,000 of your money by 3% in a 10-year period. So what should be going into your account, you're giving away. And that's what you want to teach clients, is not to give it to, not give their money away. Make it all interest earned, okay? Anybody have any other questions? Anybody got questions? Questions make rules. They help me design stuff for you and create. So when you go out in the field next week, you know what position you're going to be in with your clients or prospects, and you're able to put them in the best position possible by selling, turning final expense into mortgage protection sales, covering 1, the home, 2, retirement, 3, income for life, 1, 2, 3. Anything else about making it tax-free? How they like them apples? How would you even like to have a tax-free retirement? You can. And all my reps are doing this. I teach my reps how to not just earn from this organization, but I teach them how to put money away so their future is brighter. $100 a month away will turn into a $500,000 or $1 million of money that they'll be able to spend throughout their life. $300 a month is $2,000 a month for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? You guys got to get involved, or it's going to be very painful later. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't get this stuff till later, but after 10 years of doing this, you get it. And after 25 years of being a sole proprietor, business owner, I get it, man. So let's understand the options. The options are you can sell final expense up to $40K. And this is where you understand when you're in a house what people have. If somebody has a policy over $40K, it's usually an index universal life or term. This is where you start replacing these products and getting. Why do you replace products? If Mrs. Jones has 1, 2, 3 products, okay, she has this one too. She has a $10,000 one. She has a $250,000 one that has 5 years left on it. She has a $100,000 one. So we know that's either term or we'll call it index universal life. So when you find out what the cost of insurance is on this one turns out in 5 years. This one has cash value built up into it for the last 20 years. And this one has the cash value built up for the last 10 years. So what do you do with all this premium? You take this premium, you bowl it all into one. Oh, shit. You sell one big product, okay? One big policy, one big product. No, people may not get as much money as they were, but they weren't getting it anyway. In 5 years, this individual will be out to 250, 100. Let's focus on their money. Let's get them back their cash value. Let's say this one has $5,000 in it. No, $15,000. Let's say this one has $10,000 in it. There's $25,000 you can get for somebody, and they may be hurting for money. They may need it. They may have just bought a new home. They may need to put a fence around their yard. They may need to pay a car off, a loan, things like that. I've helped people pay off debts, Visa card, credit card debts, 20-some thousand by getting them this cash value. Now they're debt free. And I got them one big policy, which is necessary to do anyway. So I get one big product using all the premium that they were using throughout 4 separate products, 2 of which they were going to lose due to cost of insurance on the rise, and one's a term. Great way to sell. You got it. So the problem is you're not weighing out your options in the house, and you're not understanding when and where to do it. And that's important to just practice one. Practice a strategy and then move to the next. You all want to get annuities out of people? You can sell pretty quickly too. I'll teach you how to sell quick. Mortgage protection. I walk in, I find out what the age is. You can go like this. Hey, at the end of the month, you guys have this. After you pay all your bills and your fund money's taken out, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what are you closer to? $1,000, $750, or $500? Which one is left over at the end of the month that you may be putting into your savings account or something like that? We're closer to $1,000. Well, I instantly know I can easily take $300 of that a month, get them a nice product that builds cash, even gives them the cash back on the ROP, has living benefits, and leaves them money behind. So your next question says, okay, so how about this? If I told you all your bills are paid and I can get your house paid off for you, if God forbid something happens, or if God forbid he gets cancer, heart attack, stroke, he gets the money while he's alive too, and it builds cash value, so when you're done with this, you can just retire on it. That you're kind of left with $700 a month, but you paid all your bills. And I'm sure in your bill list there's adjustments too, so that $1,000 could be $1,500. Or it could be $1,000. So I'm sure there's adjusted room. So this would be every month you'd be in between $700 and $1,000 left over every month, and all your bills are paid. That sounds like that could be done, right? You could pull that off if that was done right. You could have enough money to have fun with and stuff like that, right? Yes. So I just knew that I sold the policy very quickly, boom, like that, and all I have to do is qualify them. So get to the financial needs quickly and know how to sell. You want to sell mortgage protection fast? Find out what's left over at the end of the month. Show them what they have left over. See what's left over. Put the monthly premium payment in. Show them what's left over a month. Tell them they can do it. Mrs. Jones, you can pull this off, right? You paid all your bills, plus you still have $1,000 to $700 a month left over, and your house gets paid off. Or at the end, you get all this money. Here's the situation I would do is I would show them the money. Do the math. If it's ROP, show them how much they will get back in 15 or 10 years. Because you're going to teach Mrs. Jones now how to get her house paid off in 15 or 20 years. Mrs. Jones, what I'd like you to do is contact your mortgage company and get your mortgage premiums split. So you're going to split them down the middle. One here, twice a week. Okay, you're going to pay your mortgage. This will get your mortgage paid off in 15 to 20 years, I promise you. Do it that way, okay? Now, with that being said, they have the ROP. Show them what it is after 15 years. Here's what you'll have in 15 years after you pay your house off, protecting your house, having cancer coverage, stroke, heart attack coverage, can't walk around your house, things like that. You have, $30,000 here. Now, if you go the distance, you'll have about $70,000 here, or $60,000. That's one way to show it. Or you can show them the Index Universal Life way and get the cash value up higher. The thing you need to do, though, is show them the numbers. Show proof, guys. Do the math. All of this shit is nothing less than a math problem that you've adjusted to prove that the numbers work in their budget and that they are receiving money back at the end. Now, if they can't get any money back for whatever reason, they can't afford the ROP product, that's where you go into the Index Universal Life. It makes it cheap. So instead of or just sell term. I mean, you sell term, that's fun. But you can show them how to get money back. It really proves that they have the ability to just invest into the product and get it all back at the end is what I'm trying to teach you how to tell people how to do it. Teach people how to get into a product to where they're only renting the money, but they get it all back at the end. That's your solution to sales. Teaching people to pay the premium monthly, and get the money back at the end. If you can teach people how to do that, you'll sell more product than you've ever imagined. If you can teach people, number two, if you can teach people how to get their homes paid off quickly, let's get this house paid off in 10 to 15 years using no money, their own money. Prove it, prove it. How do you prove it? You show the past history of the product. You show what an indexed annuity and IA has done over the past 10 or 15 years and show them where they would be today if they chose this route compared to where they're at. Oh, my stockbroker does great for me. I'm earning 21%. Bullshit, you're earning 21%. You think it's annually? You're nuts, Mrs. Jones. It's not what you say to them, but that's the facts. That's not true, okay? You take the 3% in fees out, you take the downside of the market hits of 15 to 20% out, and boom. What do they got? They got 5.65% or 6% compared to these products at 8 to 13%. On the indexed annuity side, you have 9% to averages and 8% averages on cash value. Both of them blow out the 401k, and 9 times out of 10, most stock-based products that people deal with. IRAs especially. IRAs average about 3% or are completely stagnant. When you find an IRA, by giving these people to tell you what they have, remember, the annuities can be sold too. You got a variable annuity or an index annuity that is low interest, get them into your Athene product that is a high interest rate on it, and get them to purchase your product instead of theirs. You know, maybe they need a little money out of it. Maybe it's past the surrender time. Guys, if I sold all the annuities I run into weekly, all of them, I don't get them all. I don't. It's like selling life insurance. I'll pitch 5 to 15 a week and show the illustrations, even proof, and people are like they're happy where they're at. The biggest word you have to get around with people, one, is change. They do not like change due to the fact of trust. Rapport to the point of trust. If they trust you, they're going to do it. You say, yeah, that's the way to go. Change and trust. Trust first to get the change. You got to build rapport to the point of trust. How do you do that? You don't sit there and talk about how nice their yard is or how beautiful her hair is. You have to get involved in teaching them the numbers. The numbers build trust, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. You got to sit and build rapport as a human being. That builds trust, too. I should say it's like a 50-50 blend. Rapport between you and them, physical rapport, and then the mental rapport of showing the numbers. The actual numbers of what? The past. Okay? All their 401k is based on is past results. It's not based on what's going to happen. It's based on what has happened. That's the same thing with this. So if we can prove it over and over and over again, an index universal life and an index annuity have worked, you got it. You got the sell, man. Stop playing games. Now, what's your job? What I'd like to see all you do is go learn your products. Get involved with learning your products. Become very strong in learning your products. Understand what the living benefits are, the interest rates. Understand how to do the illustrations on your own, on your computer. Get a hold of your upline to teach you. They probably don't know. So if you're with look, number one, you're the CEO of your own company. You don't owe it to anybody to do anything for you but you at the end, okay? So when we're all blown past you and we're all millionaires one day and said you coulda, shoulda, woulda, now isn't the time at 30 years from now. Now's the time now, right now, to make a decision on the only company that you're going to stay with, get your education down, get the best leads in the industry, and do it right, okay? You have that choice. I'm with you every week, showing you what I do, showing you what we do, and showing you what you can do. Choose right, choose us, and we will make you the best in the industry. Is there any more questions that you guys may have? Anybody have any more questions before I roll? Let me see. Wish I knew. Let me see this. Let me see here. It's lots of questions. How fast are commissions paid out after the annuity application's been submitted, and how much should it be? How fast are commissions paid out after the annuity commissions? Well, Lawrence, one, I want to explain to you. If you guys listen to me in detail, you get things, okay? And I'm not saying you didn't get it, but I want to explain something to you. You should be paid out on your annuities almost weekly by the effect of using the strategy selling 1 to 5 a week. By using this lead program, you will be able to illustrate 1 to 5 a week. Now, most annuities pay out in 30 days. Okay? 30 days. It's all clean, good, transfer of money, things like that. There's a lot involved with annuities. When ROP is available, the term clients and the option is take money or put towards reduced policy. What does that mean? So when the ROP is available for term clients and the option is to take the money or put towards the reduced policy, what does that mean? That means this. So when you have ROP and you have a, let's say it's a $100,000 face amount, okay? When you have that face amount and you choose one or two, you can take the cash that's built up. Remember, it's ROP, that means return of premium. All the premium that's built up over the years, you can get it back, usually after the second year. Now, that option, or take that $100,000 and reduce it to $10,000 or $20,000 in face amount. So whatever's left in the cash, you can reduce the face amount to leave a life insurance policy in there that you never have to pay for again. Wish I knew about the back in 98 because I was paying in a 401k for 9 years and only ended up with 20K. I'm sure with my 150 I could have been better spent. You're right, bud. You really could have done a lot better with that. You know, if you still have that 401k, you know, there's something we can do with it now to make your world a lot better. 30 days. Thanks, Lawrence. Yes, Lawrence, do your contracting. Let's get going here, bud. Robert, you know, when you have Alish, did that answer your question, honey? So you got it? You understand? So whenever you guys, you know, get involved with the options that you really truly have, what do you got? You got an index universal life. You got an annuity. You got the index universal life. You got the annuity, and you got the what you got, like guaranteed issue. You know, you got the guaranteed stuff too. Don't think that isn't mortgage protection, by the way, because it is. So guaranteed issue is just to cover somebody that can't get covered through their physical attributes, which means they can't get their health, you know, doesn't get by. But the guaranteed issue, AIG, is what you want to use. Guaranteed issue pays out 6 months of the premiums to you and gets you a nice policy for the clients for the less premium of anybody in the industry. You have the index universal life, you got the guaranteed issue, you got the mortgage protection option, and you got final expense. These are strategies that you should have written down and just know when you walk into a house, what are my options? I can do A. I can try to, well, let me show you. If I haven't, let me clean this up a little bit. I'm going to show you your options so it helps you mentally when you walk into a home. When I sell mortgage protection, my thing is this to sell. So I know what I'm trying to do is sell the home, okay? That's basically what I'm doing. And why am I doing that? For the equity inside. My job is never, ever do I walk into a home and I think I'm going to be able to pay that house off with somebody. Now, doing it this way, if I get somebody $25,000 to $100,000, there's two things that happens. One, they can sell the home. They can buy time to sell the house now for the equity. Equity, guys. Repeat it, equity. Now, number two is they can pay off the back end of the house. So that guy dies on the 25th year, it can pay the house off. Now that you understand that you're teaching your clients to pay their house off in 15 to 20 years, even final expense, this can be done. Remember, you final expense reps can also train yourself this. I'm not telling you it's mortgage protection, but I'm training you to sell more, bring more value into the home and get larger premiums and find annuities with final expense. Mortgage protection, same. Split the payments down the middle to pay the house off in 15 to 20 years. The mortgage payments are split, so it pays off the house faster. You get them a better result in the end because now they have more money to retire on. That's one. That's two. Number three, you find an annuity illustrationable inside the house. Mr. Jones, you have $100,000, right? Okay, well, here's what I want to do. We're here for mortgage protection. I'd like to show you how to pay your house off in 10 or 15 years while you're alive, okay? And I'm going to show you if, God forbid, you use this, if God willing, you use this strategy, you're going to have a larger amount of money put away for retirement, which you're going to need due to what? Inflation, tax increases, guys. Okay? Once you got it, they got it. Once you get it, they will get it. $100,000. Wow, check it out. He's going to start at $113,000. 10 years goes by. He's at $230,000. He has a $200,000 house. Illustration. Boom. 15 years worse on the money that you would owe by pulling out the annuity early. Losing my head here. But you can afford to pay the charges anyway, so who gives a shit? Pays off the house in 10 or 15 years that way. But you taught them how to pay their house off early by splitting their mortgage payments into two, okay? Now what you've done is you put a bank account aside for them that works real well for their future and increases the amount of money that they will receive monthly due to inflational reasons. Number 4, you have the ROP option. Very simple. More expensive policy due to the fact term without ROPs less. This is a better option for people because they get it all back. They have number 5. You got the Index Universal Life option. The Index Universal Life option you use on the youth and teach them how to do something like a 401k and put their money away. Now, if you run into people that have 401ks, I've done it 4 times this week and it works. I've done it a lot of times in the past too, but I've done it 4 times this week. Take somebody out of their 401k fund and show them the illustrations side by side and show them what their 401k would end up like, converts to their IUL, okay? And the IUL is surpassed them in so many ways. 1, you get a death benefit out of the gates, a huge death benefit, by the way. 2, you get living benefits right out of the gates or after the 2-year period. Number 3, you get a larger income tax-free at the end when you retire. And it's transferable with you. So if you leave that job, you're not just stuck with some $5,000 or $10,000 product that's going to shit in the market. You still have the ability to fund this once you find your next job and continue your cycle of retiring healthy and good. So your mortgage protection, you got so many options to cover people, but let's narrow it down. Let's take some of this out. I taught you how to do this real quickly. I'm going to show you something real fast. The fastest mortgage protection sale in the world is done by building rapport to the point of trust and finding out what's left over at the end of the month. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, we like each other. This all makes sense. Mrs. Jones needs it. What are you closer to when you pay all your bills and your fund money? You closer to having left over after you pay all your bills and fund money, $1,000, $750, or $500 a month. What are you closer to? Well, we're closer to $1,000 a month. This, inside my brain, here, let me do it for you this way. Somebody tells me they got $1,000 a month out. I go right to the numbers in my head. I'm like, boom, I know they can afford $500 a month in premium. I know that they can afford $400. I know that they can afford 3. 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 products I show. Okay? Here's how your brain works. You're doing it like this. I'm going to show them $50, $100, and maybe $120. You see where you have to, this is valuable. This is value compared to shit. Excuse my language. But this isn't the way it's supposed to be, guys. When you're doing your job, you're there to do a job the right way. And by the mathematics on this proves that this part of the puzzle works better. These premiums are the actual premiums that they need to be paying to protect this guy's wife. From the worst day of her life, she could lose all the equity because you didn't do your job right. She could lose the home. She could lose her future. She has no income for life. So instead of showing small premiums, show larger premiums. Take a shot one day at this and prove to yourself you can do this. Bring more value. You don't think people want to buy the best? Everybody wants the best in life. They don't want some shit stuff that doesn't really do it. If you need to do this, this stuff here, this is always to sell the home. This one here does a lot. This sells the home. This puts a retirement schedule in place. This puts living benefits in place so when he doesn't work anymore that he can just retire, or if he's retired already, he can still retire better. And he probably need it due to health reasons. We never know where the healthcare system's going, so teach people about it, get them involved. If somebody were to tell me, listen, Jason, all I got is $500 a month left over. I got $500 a month over. Well, I'm saying And I go 300, 200, 100. There's my three options because I know what I know. I know that I can say, hey, look, you know what? You're probably right, but you're probably in between 500 and 750 a month. This one's probably between this, and this one's probably between 1,500. Like if we adjusted some things, like Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I drink a lot of Gatorade. We'll plug the Gatorade, by the way. Gatorade, and that costs me a couple bucks a day. I'd take $3 a day times that by 30 days. That's 90 bucks, you know. So, you know, this is probably adjusted, eating out things. So what I'm saying to you is you probably could afford a 300, but comfortably, what I'd like to see you do is probably the 200 or 300. The 100 really isn't doing the job. So between these two, which one looks better to you? And let me show you what you got left over. If on your worst month you had 500 bucks left over and you paid for this, you'd have still 200 bucks left over. And remember what we were discussing. We were saying you paid all your bills off already. You have fund money out. And you put a retirement away. And you paid your home off. Okay? This should be first on the list. Guys, you just bought a mortgage. This is first. This isn't last. Okay? So what we're going to look at too is let's hypothetically see you at $750 a month and you spend $300. Well, you're at $430 or $450. There's $450 a month left over and you're still good. You paid the house off. You get your wife protected, Mr. Jones. Use these two against each other. Mrs. Jones, if she's quiet, say, Mrs. Jones, what do you feel about the time of his passing and you not having enough money to stay in this house? Get her ideas on it, because now here comes the objection. Well, my kids have enough money to pay for it. What happens if, okay, well, here, I'm in a business to death, guys, and if your kids aren't around, that doesn't make any sense for you to wish upon your kids. You really want your kids pulling out of their pocket $2,000 a month for your protection when you can do it for $200 a month and you can afford it? And let me show you guys something. Maybe this will help. Now, here's what I'm going to show them something. I'm going to show them at the end what they receive by accomplishing this. Okay? Here's what you guys get. Let's say I helped you get the mortgage payment split. You got 2 mortgage payments now. You get your mortgage down to 15, 20 years. Okay? Now we put this away and we cash it in at the end. In my illustration, it's going to show them exactly what their cash looks like at the end. So I'm showing them, guys, this isn't a bill added on to your monthly bills. This is a retirement schedule put aside for your future. Why do you need it again? You know as well as I do that bread's going up, gas is going up, toothpaste is going up, you know, whatever's going up. It's all going up. So what you need to do is this. We're going to do this one. I'm going to help you guys out and help you make a decision. The $200 a month is fantastic. The 3 is exactly where you need to be due to the fact that his income is about this at the end, and then we'll wrap it up like that. You know what I mean? Got the illustration. So, all right, guys. Wifey's coming in the door. She wants me to get off so we can bounce, go to the mall. And I hope that helped. I really do. Helped me. You know? So, any questions before I leave? Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Anybody have any questions before I leave? Let's see if there's any more. Hey, Jason, how did you go from $100,000 to $113,000 instantly? Lawrence, that's the bonus. We're going to give either an 8, 10, or 13% bonus based on age and an indexed annuity. So to get people to work with the company, you go from $100,000 to a $13,000 bonus, $113,000, and then what you can do is you can show them what their next year can look like. Add 8% to that and show them what their next year will look like too. So take $113,000, add 8% to it, and show them what their next year will look like. In 1 year, this is what they earned. So what's $113,000 times 8% or plus 8%? Shit, I'm going to calculate. Anyway, do that. That's how you show people where they'll be in 1 year. Very important you show them where they can be in 1 year. Because if the market dives tomorrow or next year or in a 5-year period, you're going to show them where they would ball up and never lose another dime again. Very important to illustrate that there are no downsides. The only downside is that you can't touch the money in 5, 10, 20, or 15 years. That's the worst case scenario. You know, that's it. Everything else is all upside potential. You can't lose, Mrs. Jones. You just can't, Mr. Jones. You cannot lose a dime in here. It's all upsides to the market. It's the same damn thing the stockbroker's doing, but in a different way. He's not getting paid. You're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Thanks, Jason. Wow, that's cool. Okay, everybody, thank you. Rob, Come on, man. You got to make the right decision. Let's go. You're getting all this good training, giving it elsewhere. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. I will see you, everybody else, every Friday. If you're on my team and you want access to some amazing training, what? Every Friday at 11 a.m. except for this Friday, okay? I'll put in a new training. Anyway, thank you guys very much. If you want to join my team, I'm going to put my telephone number up here. I want you all to have a great weekend. I want you to text me, join here to this telephone number. All right, guys, have a great one.